What's up, everybody, and welcome to the season premiere, as they're dubbing it now, to AEW Dynamite. But before we actually get into this review of AEW Dynamite, make sure everybody go check out the AEW Revolution review. Myself and Just J Rod did review that show the other day, a little bit late, but given it was Sting's last match and a lot of other stuff going on that pay-per-view, had to review it. But an overall great show. But let's get into it right now. AEW Dynamite. Obviously, it's a lot of changes around here when it comes to the stage area. Like a new stage set. Looks like they got some new tunnels. Look like some shoots in a way, but new tunnels, a new graphic, a new color scheme. A lot of different look going for AEW Dynamite. Do I like it? It's different. It may take a minute to get used to. I don't hate it or whatnot, but very multicolor. I will say that. Maybe kind of going back to their first ever colors when it was like all the smoke filled, multiple colors and whatnot. But now a little bit more sharper, I would say. So may it take some time getting used to it, but I don't hate it though. But we did kick it off with Tony Schiavone in the ring, who had Swerve and Prince Nana came out. Swerve basically talked about what happened last Sunday at the pay-per-view for the AEW World Title. He talked about he signed his contract when he got here. He's done some really terrible things here, but now, they wonder if it was payback and whatnot. Basically, maybe he's not supposed to be champion, but he says he's meant to be a role player, but does he grasp it though? Basically, fans chanting, "You deserve it," but Revolution, he felt different. He still wants to make history. He still wants that world title. People say, yeah, people flew in all the way from Washington State to see him make history, but he let them down. But basically, he's coming for Samoa Joe. He doesn't know when or where, but he will beat him for that AEW World Title. Prince Nana doing the whole, whose house, Swerve's house. He promised that. Samoa Joe came out then basically saying, like, yeah, you say this is your house, but you in my world, all right? So you need a reality check right now. So last time I checked, you got beat down. And you look at the world champion right here. Swerve say, yeah, you keep talking, but you still ain't beat me. And I want my shot. He said, you in your gear, I'm in my gear. Why don't we do this tonight? But then next thing you know, the Undisputed Kingdom came out. I feel like I barely ever see Adam Cole at this point. Wheelchair Cole being the leader of this whole thing. And basically, saying how the Undisputed Kingdom won a revolution. Strong's got the international title. Wardlow has he gets a world title shot through that scramble. But Cole basically said, Joe, the only reason why you even champion right now is because of us. Swerve, nobody's not going to care about you in 6 months. I want that world title. Well, Wardlow's going to challenge for the world title very soon and win it. And the title will be back with the Undisputed Kingdom. Swerve basically said, how many times you gotten opportunities and failed. And basically, excuse me, just went on to say, like, you talk all this, but how about you're the manager right now, right? How about we ask Britt Baker for a number right now? But Cole said next week it's gonna be a tag match. But Tony Khan made it where it was a tag match right now with the Kingdom versus Samoa Joe and Swerve. I don't really have a lot to say about this. This is the Kingdom, and then again, it's like nobody really cares for the Ring of Honor tag titles, anyways. Like, no one cares. Like, they don't. It's the freaking Kingdom. So you know who's going to win this match, all right? You already know. So yeah, Swerve and Samoa Joe won. Right after that, Wardlow walked out then. Basically, Swerve got distracted. Joe choked him out. It will be the world title on the line next week for the big business show with Samoa Joe and Wardlow. I feel like a lot of shenanigans are going to happen since they've been doing, making a big hype out of this whole show for next week. So we'll see how that goes. Hook was headed to the ring. Chris Jericho basically talked about how, he started Lionheart and Chris Jericho and how Taz basically dropped him on his head in the ECW arena and Hook ended up doing it himself. And he basically said, congrats as they dapped and walked off after that. For some reason, I know it was Hook versus Brian Cage for the FTW title. And I guess this was a hardcore match all of a sudden. Does this title do hardcore rules now, or they've been doing that? Or maybe I forget. I don't know. But obviously, this is probably the only way to beat Cage, given it wouldn't make no sense if Hook just beat him on his own clean. So obviously, then again, we've already seen one crazy, damn near hardcore match last Sunday in the main event. Now we see another one basically with thumbtacks and barricades and kendo sticks and chairs and whatnot. And somebody asked me like, still, when was this a hardcore match? Like literally for this whole FTW title. And Hook ended up choking out Brian Cage right after the Gates of Agony came out and attacked Hook, and then Chris Jericho came out with a baseball bat. So I guess it's gonna be Jericho and Hook in a feud now. We'll see what happens. Right after that, Renee Young interviewed Cassidy and them, but don't really care. Moving on, I guess they're going for the tag title since they're vacant. Christian and the Christian Coalition, excuse me, the Christian Coalition, I like to call them, that came out. But basically, Kill Switch, Luchasaurus, whatever, went against Matt Menard. I know his ribs was taped up. Basically, Kill Switch won. Not much to say from here. Garcia tried to come out and make the save after that, but they took him out too, him and Nick Wayne. Next thing you know, as the Christian Coalition are walking up to the stage, Edge returns, so Edge is back. We haven't seen him in like 2 to 3 weeks now, and I thought he would have showed up at the pay-per-view, but Edge came out. He hit Kill Switch with a chair, threw him off the stage and onto some tables, choked out Nick Wayne and left him there. Shayna Wayne tried to low blow him, but Edge ended up grabbing her arm. I knew he wasn't gonna do nothing, but basically knocked out her arm and then chased after Christian. Basically, Edge chased Christian throughout the building. Christian basically just carjacked some random dude and threw him out the car and drove off as Edge kept chasing him, saying like, look at the camera. He just looked at the camera and said, yeah, Christian ran like a little bitch. And then he said, you know what? It's going to be Edge versus Christian 3 or Copeland versus Cage or however you want to call it. But yeah, Edge versus Christian 3, and it's going to happen where it first started. So in the next few weeks in Toronto, it will be Edge versus Christian for the TNT title in an I Quit match. So yeah, going to see where that goes. Given this the only feud that Edge has really been in ever since being in AEW. But so yeah, it basically just sets up in the next few weeks, but yeah, not a bad angle there. So yeah, in Toronto, they're building that up. Kyle O'Reilly basically was interviewed in the back, saying how he's happy to be here. He's got a second chance now, and he's got number up in Undisputed Kingdom, but he said he's got to do this on his own right now. Right after that, the announcers was Tony Schiavone. Basically had the Young Bucks come out. Basically, congratulations on your great entrance for getting your ass kicking you took. I thought that was funny. And listen, I'll be honest, this was hard to get through this Young Bucks interview. And talked about, they basically talked about Sting and Darby. And yeah, we still retired Sting. You people boo us. These promos sound really bad, by the way. And then I guess they had 2 announcements. And this had to do with the Elite. I guess they suspended Hangman Page without pay from the Elite. Honestly, I didn't know the Elite was still going. I didn't even know Hangman Page was still in the Elite, to be honest. Like, didn't he? Well, I guess he is. He walked away, then he came back, then he went back on his own. So I didn't even know these guys were still a group at this point. And whatnot. So they basically suspend him. And I guess since Kenny Omega's been off TV due diverticulitis, they said he hasn't made any of his dates, so yeah, you're fired from the Elite. We could do a group chat, but you're gone. Eddie Kingston came out then. He basically said, yeah, y'all want to threaten me, like you want to fine me for cursing. I'm gonna do what I do, and like y'all might as well do it now. And then it just basically said, do it now, bitch. And then Matt Jackson's just like putting his arm around, like we could talk like gentlemen. We don't need to air our grievances out here. They basically just beat up Eddie Kingston, low blow him. They about to hit him with the being the Elite, EVP, whatever trigger. Next thing you know, Okada makes it, well, I shouldn't even say making his AEW debut, because Okada's been on this show before, but I can basically officially say now that Okada has made his choice and Okada has signed with AEW, and it got a pretty big pop. I feel like it was bigger last time, but Okada made his big entrance. He had the Okada Bucks come from all the rafters, and he headed to the ring. He's got a suit on, and basically Okada helped Kingston up, but it's him and Kingston, they're about to fight the Bucks. That Next thing you know, Okada hits Kingston with the Rainmaker, and then after that, and the Bucks say that Okada is now the newest member of the Elite. Okay, I will say this about the segment where this is at least interesting, especially when Okada came out, things got interesting. Okay, first one, I did not give a damn about this whole promo with whatever the Bucks was talking about. It just sounded bad. But Okada now being part of the Elite and firing Kenny Omega. And I don't know when Kenny Omega will ever be back, but I do believe this is going to be setting up for Omega versus Okada in the future. I think it was the number 4, I think they may be on at this point. But yeah, it's basically setting up the match for the future when Omega ever comes back. But did I expect Okada to turn heel in debuting in this company? No. Did I already know Okada was really going to come to AEW? Yeah, I'm not really surprised by that. Did I think he was going to go to WWE in a sort of way? Yeah, but I figured he was going to go to AEW. And it does kind of, if you want to go through a history lesson with Okada and the Bucks, I think Okada was the one to even get the Young Bucks in the New Japan, if I'm not mistaken, years ago. So I can understand that if they're going from a storyline perspective of it. But yeah, Okada, pretty big curveball though, going heel and join the Elite, or I guess a new Elite or something with that. So that was the most interesting part of this whole segment, was just Okada coming out and turning heel with the Bucks, or joining the Elite basically. So it is interesting that they kicked out Omega. So I think we all know where this is gonna go. But yeah, big debut for Okada, and yeah, he turned heel. Rio versus Chris Statlander. I swear to God, I'm surprised this went so long. And listen, I get this went for storyline purposes, but I could not buy into this, given it was Rio and Statlander probably should have won this match like maybe 5-6 minutes ago, and this went nearly 10 minutes. But given storyline purposes, with Stokely putting a chain in the ring and Statlander not, picking up the chain, and basically Rio ended up rolling up Statlander. I just started laughing when I saw that. Honestly, it just was funny to me. Which they end up interviewing Stokely and Willow right after that. And now next week is going to be Willow versus Rio, which, good Lord, how's that going to go? But Willow says she still wants a shot at the TBS title, so she's coming for that. Tony Storm was interviewed. Basically, she'll have a new movie. The Tony Award on Collision this Saturday. Next, Darby Allin. Darby Allin came out with a baseball bat in his other half of the AEW Tag Team titles, which him and Sting did successfully defend, but now they have relinquished the titles because Sting has, retired now. And with Sting being gone, Darby talked about how he was homeless and from up the road in Atlanta, and now he's here in Sting's retirement match, and he would make sure Sting had the career he ended with respect and whatnot. I know it's a lot of questions going into that, which I'm sure most everybody remembers this match nowadays. Well, not even nowadays, just a few days ago, but now mostly everybody, when it comes to talking about Sting and Darby, is just the crazy dive through the glass Darby did. And I'm listening to this promo he's doing, and Darby basically talked about he's lacerated and tired, and talked about Jay White and how he's gonna climb Mount Everest on March 27th. He said there's no guarantee he will come back alive, and he thanked the fans, and this may be his last match ever, and he's gonna go out fighting for his life, and he doesn't need a new partner and keep defending these titles. So hey, whoever wins the next tag titles, congrats, but no one's gonna replace Sting. And like one of my co-stars that's usually on here, Straight Face 40, went on to say that this promo was very cryptic, and I got to agree with him. Yeah, it just sounded like he's not gonna come back from this Mount Everest thing, because yes, it's very dangerous. And then again, I just find it insane that given he already just damn near killed himself on this pay-per-view with the glass, okay? Which, like I said, we know Darby's crazy and do all this insane stunts and whatnot, but I don't even really think that was needed. And I spoke about it the other day, but when reviewing that whole pay-per-view, but I was just more surprised it was real glass. Like I honestly was. I was very surprised it was really real glass involved in that match, and this bump is just insane. We're like he damn near punctured the artery, and yeah, it's him. He can do what he wants, but you got to look at Tony Khan. And it's like, was this really worth it? I get it was Sting's last match, but I don't know, man. It just was still ridiculous, and then him climbing Mount Everest. I'm like, how safe is this really for even Tony to let him do this? And it just made this whole promo what he was doing basically almost like this is probably the last time you all gonna see me because I may not come back alive. I may die during this whole climb to Mount Everest. Like it really just sounded eerie and weird. Like he may not be back. Like he really won't. Okay, so it just it's crazy to me. Next thing you know, Jay White came out with the Gun Club, and I'll be honest, man, this Jay White promo felt like it was going on forever. That I had zoned out. Like I get he was talking about the ladder and the Bucks and Sting's retirement and what a moment, but it just felt like Jay White was talking and talking and just I just zoned out. It felt like he was going on for like a long minute talking and all this and scissor hands and bang bang scissor gang and whatever. Even Darby was like, listen, you won all these titles around the world, main event Tokyo Dome and stuff, but I don't believe the hype. What have you done since you come to AEW? Play with cardboard cutouts? And I guess he told him something in his ear, put the bat to his neck and say, I'll see you at big business. So I didn't mind the Darby promo, but Jay White really just kind of, I don't know, and it just zoned me out. It's just like he was just going on and on and on and on, and that was it. But yeah, the Darby promo, man, it just felt kind of weird and very eerie. And I get it. Sting, it's like I said, there's no more Sting and Darby. It's over. Sting's done. Hell, look at that media scrum. I made that prove a little bit more, but that was hilarious. But still, Darby's got to move on. But yeah, at least I don't know. We're gonna see, but yeah, that promo was just eerie. House of Black basically start. When's the last time they done a promo? Honestly, start talking about Mark Briscoe. I guess gonna be some street fight this Saturday on Collision. Mark Briscoe says he's ready to fight. Jay Lethal showed up then saying like, man, I'm gonna man up and say I got your back. I've known you for 20 years. But Briscoe said, do not bring Jeff Jarrett. And listen, man, you ain't gotta trust Jeff Jarrett, but trust me. In the main event, we did get Will Ospreay versus Kyle Fletcher, and I'm gonna be honest, man. Listen, when it comes to Will Ospreay matches, it's gonna be insane. And I know this was the main event, and I know he's going against one of his United Empire people, but going into this match, it was crazy. Yeah, it was insane. I should have named him basically went 20 minutes. And listen, like I've seen a lot of Will Ospreay matches, so I usually know how this is gonna go. And hell, I've been there live to see Will Ospreay too. But I gotta say it's a very stiff match. They were laying in some shots. I can say that too. Them kicks was damn near deadly. But this is almost kind of like the same we just saw at Revolution with him and Takeshita. They went insane. And it was almost like the same thing, damn near. One thing that got me was them Poison Ranas, man. I'm like, the Poison Ranas and, even the Os Cutters sometime here and there, man, they was just landing on their heads, which even I thought it was going to be over after a while. And it just almost felt like the match I just saw a Revolution in some sort of way. But it's Will Ospreay. It's going to be crazy, but damn, like, he already just almost kills his back the other night and, back at it again, basically. Some would call this a spot fest, which you could say that, but the crowd's going to eat it up. But I don't know. I just almost felt like I was watching the same match from Revolution the other day, just with Kyle Fletcher now. And Will Ospreay won with the hidden blade. Then next thing you know, Bryan Danielson came out and had a stare down with Ospreay before they went off the air. Which, I do want to see that match, and I think it's going to be insane when it happens. Bryan Danielson is facing every NJPW guy right now, okay? He has went against Okada. He has went against Zack Sabre Jr. Even Yuji Nagata. I'm trying to see who else from NJPW as me face. I don't even want to say Kingston. I know it's an NJPW title involved, but not really. But now Will Ospreay, and I'm looking forward to seeing that match. Okay, I know that's gonna be crazy, so get ready for that. But yeah, Danielson is going against every New Japan guy right now. But like the overall the show, it was a lot of interesting news bits from here. Like I said, the new set doesn't look bad. I do kind of wonder if they really needed it or not, but it doesn't look bad. Like I said, it'll take time to get used to it. But looking at this whole show tonight, like I said, a lot of newsworthy stuff. With Kazuchika Okada making his AEW debut, or I should say signing with AEW because he's been on this show before. Ospreay and Fletcher, the main event. Edge returning. What else? The Swerve Joe promo was actually really good out there too. Warlow's getting his title shot next week. So yeah, it was a couple of newsworthy stuff and a hot crowd out there too. Where were they? Georgia tonight, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, they were in Georgia. But like I said, a lot of interesting news coming out of AEW Dynamite tonight. But not a bad episode, I will say that. I'm assuming it was a full crowd this time, but they were hot out there too. But other than that, that's my review of AEW Dynamite. I'm out of here. Comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, Hood Knight 890. I'll see y'all later. Peace.